and go. Howdy. Patrick Grant, howdy, sir. Great to see you, sir. For anybody who doesn't realize, today will be the second NMGAW in 2 days. Howdy, Mix Wine, also known as James. And of course, Cedric. Howdy, sir. Great to see all of you. Cedric, is it Cedric or is it just said? I mean, if it's just said, I apologize. Paul, great to see you, sir. Oh, goodness. I actually won something last night. Now, for anybody who saw that I won, y'all do realize I try not to get into a whole lot of GAWs because with my lack of job right now, I don't like to take and not be able to give back. And I've heard, extensively heard, because I read the Briar Report on a regular basis and I watch other people's videos, especially while I'm not doing much of anything. Though when I was up on the house, I would put an earbud in and listen to videos while I was doing stuff. Yes, Patrick, I got Squadron Leader and another one that right now is kind of skipping my memory of exactly what the name on the tin was. And in fact, they were going to call my name twice, but I was like, no, that ain't happening. Come on now. Did he just pass away, like, recently? I didn't see that, Paul, but I've been busy with the wife all day, so I'm a little bit out of the loop. And for anybody who didn't stay up and decide that they were going to watch the Nashville Mafia movie, you probably missed out. There's time. If you want to do it today, before Mike goes live, if you turn me out and you go over and watch the Nashville Mafia movie live, I'm telling you, it very high production value. It was hysterical. I see a sequel coming. Oh yes. How do you even turn this thing off? Loved it. Howdy, Sharon. Great to see you, ma'am. Hopefully you're doing well. Now, I mentioned that I won 2 tins from the Nashville Mafia. I don't ever expect to win. Okay, yeah, I mean, if somebody's going to give away a Phil Rivera pipe, I'm probably getting in on it because sure I want one. Oh my God, would I want one. But as I also said last night during the Nashville Mafia GAW, event extravaganza, whatever you want to call it. It was pretty crazy. I felt like I had already won because I was there. Getting to hang out with y'all, that for me, that's the win. I could have not won anything and I'd been ecstatic. Howdy, big winners! Kilted Piper Steve and Miss Kathy both won. Loving it. It was awesome. And, you know, I look forward to spending a lot of time with y'all. Whether it's because y'all have made a video or y'all are doing lives. I mentioned that because Mike's going to be vacating Thursdays in the very near future. And, you know, Thursdays might only end up being me, but hey, we got Doug up to 1,000 people. Maybe he can take over Mike's spot. Not saying that anybody has to, but anybody who wants to, you get somebody tailgating for you almost immediately. And if the time frame doesn't work for you and you need to adjust, well, maybe we should talk so that you can tell me that you need to adjust the time frame. I'm flexible here. I'm doing an hour and a half. I don't have to do an hour and a half. Hell, I don't have to do any time at all. And you know what? If anybody's wanting to say, hey, look, we want to do Thursday, but we really don't want to do Thursday right after Donald because he's kind of controversial. You know what? Talk to me. I'm cool with it. If that means that someone who hates me wants me to not be here, but they want to do a Thursday show, it's fine. It's good. It's for the community, then it's good. It doesn't matter. And that's just the way I'm going to say it. Of course, I also mentioned that I won last night because I sent Mike an email today. Now, Mike and Nish, the other NM, you know, Nish, Mike, NM, so they're doing a GAW tonight. And I plan to be watching a good portion of it. I will not win anything. I sent an email to Mike to verify my decision that I don't like to take and just take. I like to give back. And I don't have anything that I can give back right now other than live feeds and tailgates and trying to get people to tune into other people's channels and giving y'all a nice easy place to relax and sit around and have a good time, maybe smoke a bowl or maybe just finish out your day or however it works. But because I don't have anything to give back other than that right now, and I don't want to win twice in a week at all, not back-to-back days definitely, and I'm still ecstatic that I won it all. I sent a full-on email to Mike and I said, look, I'm not taking any wins. So if anybody wants to send me something, if y'all are thinking, hey, look, I just won something on Mike and I'm going to forward it to Donald. No, you're not. Don't. I've won. Being included in this community is a win, all in its own. And I've always felt that way. I'm abrasive, I know that. I'm controversial, I know that. I say things the way I see them. I don't pull punches. I know that too. But I want to be excluded from winning. I want to be able to hang out at Mike's show and just be able to congratulate the winners, whoever they are. And I know it's Mike and Nish's show tonight. Nish is major reason why we're going to be there. And the Asikian pipes. If you haven't seen the Asikian pipes, I'm not going to spell it out for you how to spell out Asikian. If anybody knows how to spell it exactly, go ahead and put it in there. I would greatly appreciate it. But I can't spell the damn word. They're beautiful pipes. I think I mentioned it the other day. I like the lattice ones that look like brain material underneath where it's rusticated, but it's like in a lattice. I love that for whatever reason it is. And I'm just like, wow, people can do this stuff. I can't, but people can. And the whole thing is, I don't ever want there to be one of those situations. I know that there's a Y in Asikian, but is it AS? Even when I'm looking at the word, my little bit of dyslexia starts kicking in, and I'm like, you know what? I can't do it. I think Said has it right. That looks right to me, but I'm not going to sit there and try and say that that's exactly how to spell it. Howdy, Mike. Okay, so Levon Asikian. Asikyan. I knew that there was a Y in it, but I didn't know. I didn't know how to spell it exactly. And Mike, I really meant when I sent that email to you that I formally am asking to not be included in any winners list tonight. One win every once in a while is way too generous. Again, this community is a win. The level of maturity and respect and the honest ability to converse with each other is a win. I love being here, and I want to spread that love out as much as possible. Mike, no, I did not. I will look at it just before I tune into your show, but that means I'm going to be a little bit late. I tried to keep my email very short so that I could just give you something that was quick and easy to read without having to take your time or nothing. And it was so much fun to hang out with 100+ people. I mean, especially when Bowl Call happened, and 10 times it must have been, John said, "It's going too fast." It was great. Just the fun and hanging out with y'all was so much fun. And I couldn't help but enjoy the hell out of it. Oh, okay, so it's Nish's program, it's his rules. Okay, don't be surprised if I find a surrogate if I do win anything. I'm not going to, again, maybe it's just something about me. I feel like I'm stealing if I win too much. I joke about, oh, I never win. You know what? I joke about it. This community has given me back a lot. And there's times where I get that little feeling of insanity creeping up, and I'll tune into one of y'all's programs, and I'll just straight out, I can moderate, I can bring it back to what I really, really enjoy about being here, and I can lose myself for a couple of minutes, and those parts of my brain that really I wish I could get rid of entirely, they settle down. I get right. So like I said, for me, just being a part of this community, I know is a win for me. Maybe it's not going to be a win for everybody, but for me, it's definitely a win. And, I appreciate all of y'all being here. And I've said it many times. It's not just about y'all being here or what I can do for y'all or what y'all can do for me. And really, I just don't, I don't like to feel like I'm taking away from this community. I really want it to be like a widespread winning community. And, so, I do things like say, hey, look, I don't get into a lot of the GAWs. I watch your videos on GAWs, and I try not to comment, because a lot of times any comment will get you in on this GAW, and then I'm just like, okay, well, I'll click the like, but I'm going to watch your video all the way through. And I'm that's just the way I am. I'm not trying to influence anybody to do that or anything. It's more about just wanting there to be so much more in this community than people seeing my name and going like, that bastard won again. Well, if I won, I won, and I apologize. I'm not trying to win. Again, just being here with y'all, hanging out, that's my win. That really is my win. Now, don't get me wrong. If Simon was to give away a pipe and I won, I'm taking it. If Eric Weaver, same thing. Mouton, same thing. Philip Rivera, same thing. You know what? There's more people out there that are talking about like giving away a pipe, and if I was to be entered and I won, I'd take it. But I don't want it to be all like, there's times where one person seems to win all week long, and it just gets to be like, that person wins again? I don't ever want anybody to feel that way about me. At least not until I get into a financially stable enough situation where I can give back. Quite honestly, $1,300 out on my cat this week. I'm not in a good situation myself right now. I don't want any donations. I'm not asking. I have that money. It was set aside for occasional whatever might happen. Kind of like an insurance policy. Hey, guess what? I had to dip into that money. Not that I wanted to, just that I had to. Sure, I like my pets. It's just, crap happened. Oh yeah, I was told it could either be some sort of inflamed bowel disorder. I don't know the exact terminology the vet used. Or it could be cancer. Awesome. The problem is, if it is cancer, it's not actually showing on any x-rays or ultrasounds, so therefore it would be like in the lining of the intestines, and therefore there's no way to really test for it without biopsies, and to do the biopsies might actually kill my cat. Okay. So if y'all see me kind of acting a little bit mopey, it's because I'm a little worried about my cat. Yes, I have a heart. I'm not cold and heartless. I try not to be. I've been told I'm cold and heartless by more than a few people in my life. But I work on it. And I sometimes fail. I am not the best person in the world to do everything. Good Lord, if I was that person, I wouldn't have issues at all. I'm not the best person on a motorcycle. I can prove that. I shattered a kneecap on a motorcycle. Oh, yeah. And, well, there is that, Paul. There is that. I just don't want y'all worried about me. There's really nothing wrong with me. That hopefully my cat survives and that will take care of it. Damn, that food's gonna be expensive if that's what the issue is. Freaking, I looked through a crap ton of websites on the irritable bowel, whatever it was, for cats. And I think I went through 10 different websites. And 5 of them... No, wait. I'll start that over. I went through about 10 of them. All 10 of them tried to sell their own private product. 5 of them, on the other hand, also said as an alternate, Hill's Science Diet has a digestive care that shows good results. And Hill's Science Diet is actually cheaper than all of these other... I don't know if it's irritable bowel syndrome or... Well, Steve, I know how I would feed a herd of deer. I would feed them to me as venison once they got old enough to do something. I know I can't do that to your deer though. And the one you showed the other day, that definitely too young. If they're not going to dress out to at least 80 pounds, I'm not even going to shoot. It's not worth the tag to begin with. Paul, actually mint, cats can have mint. For that matter, mint is very similar to catnip. Cats will only eat a certain amount of it though, and then that's where they'll stop. They have yet to figure out a way to make a cat actually overdose on catnip or mint. Cats have better control, I guess. Unlike humans, we'll eat ourselves into diabetic comas. We have no self-control. Cats, on the other hand, they're pretty good about it. Oh, in case anybody's wondering, I'm having a Punch Classico. And if you're needing to know the size specifics, it is the Punch Elite EMS 25S. It is a short Lancero. Pretty strong, fairly tasty. Smoking Fireman, howdy sir, great to see you. Now, I only mentioned that my cat's had issues. Just in case y'all see me acting a little goofy on any of my future live feeds, or if y'all suddenly don't see me on a regularly scheduled live feed, if something goes wrong with my cat, I'm taking care of my cat. And I don't want y'all worried about me. Seriously, don't worry about me. The world's been trying to kill me for years, and they hadn't figured it out yet, so I'm pretty good. The amount of stupid crap that I've done in my life that should have gotten me killed and somehow didn't, I'm just going to say I don't know why I'm still alive, but I'm happy I am. Steve, now, see, that's the funny thing a lot of people do not realize about most hunters. Most hunters are very much wildlife conservatives. They're not out there shooting just to put a trophy on the wall for the most part. Most of them are A, going to get all that meat, and B, it's to keep the whole population of whatever it is that they're hunting from literally out eating the whole population enough that they all starve. I mean, bad periods of drought here in Texas, they'll open up doe season just because there's too many of them. And they're almost giving away those tags. Howdy, Martin. Great to see you, sir. Okay, so Joe Case then, he did die. Honestly, if he had passed me in a room, I wouldn't be able to pick him out of a crowd. But I will do a little bit more research and figure out who it is, and I'll read up on him, and then I will be sad that I missed out on what I should have known ahead of time. Of course, names are the worst thing I've ever been not good at. I'd forget my own name except for the fact that my mom called me by all three of them so damn many times. Some of it was I was a recalcitrant child. Some of it was, I didn't have the best parents. Let's just say that. Oh, yeah, Patrick Grant. That's right. Someone named Martin said something about possibly going live tonight. Is that going to actually happen, Martin? Howdy, Eddie. Great to see you, sir. Okay, Joe's pipes. Not Jose's, but Joe's pipes. And look, I try to sub as many people as I can, and there's plenty of them that I've missed. Quite honestly, I love the fact that Ghost Cobb every week does a Find Five Friday, or at least almost every week does a Find Five Friday, and every week I go through. Quite often, though, I'm like, already found that person, already found that person, already know that person, and but every once in a while I'm like, oh look, there's a new name, click sub, there it is. So I love the Ghost Cobb. In case y'all are looking for a way to find new channels that you're not familiar with, Ghost Cobb does an amazing job at finding those channels. I would be nowhere near the 1,000+ subscriptions that I've subbed out to people if it hadn't have been for Ghost Cobb and, you know, like close to 3 years of watching. I don't know if he's been doing it for 3 years, but I know that I found his channel early on, and I've been following him along ever since. Just saying. What am I drinking tonight? Let's see. This is tamarind soda. I'm going to say this and nobody get upset. It's a Mexican soda. But when I lived down in Kingsville, Texas, I really acquired a taste for a lot of the Mexican sodas. And I have no problem calling them Mexican sodas because they come from Mexico. So what? It'd be like saying Corona without saying Mexican beer. Steve, I'm pretty certain that the devil is afraid that I will take over entirely and institute a air conditioning thing. I mean, I was an electrician. I probably can figure it out. Very nice, Patrick. Coffee with bullet bourbon. I like it. Okay, so Mike is confirming now for Martin that Martin will be going live right after Nish and Briar Blues is finished. This is going to be a great day, no matter what else goes on. Howdy, Boris, or Huva Ilta. For anybody that's wanting to know Finnish, get to know Boris. He might not make very many videos, but he should. And that he's older than me and looks younger than me pisses me off. I thought I was the only one that looked so much younger. Oh, by the way, Mike, I have to apologize. Ugh. I did not shave today. I was working with my cat earlier this morning, trying to get him to eat. And then Holly was up and she had a list of things to do, and it was out the door and go, 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 go. And I said I would stay shaved until New Year's Day. I didn't shave today. I apologize. I didn't live up to my responsibilities, but I will shave in the morning. So y'all will see that tomorrow, that I will not be as scruffy as this is. And look, that's what grows in a little over 24 hours. Like a day and a half. Literally a day and a half since I've shaved. That's all it grows. I'm just now getting 5 o'clock shadow. Some of y'all would have shaved and already had a full beard. Yeah. That's my luck. It's not going to grow. And I'm not going to sweat it. And Boris will not shave, so I'm not even going to worry about whether Boris is going to shave. And my beard will never catch up to Boris's. Genetically, that's impossible. One of the things that I found out way early on while looking at how poorly my beard grew was that people are already genetically predisposed. If you are predisposed to be able to grow one of those beards down to your belt buckle, you can. And if you are predisposed to get a beard that barely gets to there and that's it, then that's it. And I'm predisposed that I can barely get one fistful of hair off the bottom of my chin, and that's about where it quits. Oh, finally smoked that Monte Cristo with a glass of bourbon during the Nashville Mafia. I am so glad you liked it, Steve. I knew it was good. I didn't know how much you would like it, but I felt pretty secure that it was going to be it was going to hit pretty close to your sweet spot there. Well, Patrick, mine gets funny. Right here, as you can see, look, it doesn't grow very well right here. So I end up with a naturally forked beard. There was a guy in WWE back, or WWF or whatever it was back in the day. James Stumbo would know. He had this red beard, and I'm pretty sure that they either shaved it or made it into a forked beard. That's what mine does naturally. Of course, not as full as his, but that's what mine does naturally. Forked beard. Awesome. What's worse is I didn't actually have to shave until after I hit 30. Every once in a while I'd get like one whisker and I could just pluck that sumbitch out, be gone with it. It would be fine. I was never going to be able to grow a good beard. What y'all have seen and y'all think has looked like somewhat of a good beard. Oh, look, it's kind of manicured. No, that's just where it quits. For the most part, I might end up staying completely shaved. Eric Rowan had a red beard. I wouldn't know. But howdy, Welsh. Great to see you, sir. I think it was somebody, the Anvil Nightheart or something like that, that had the beard that grew, or that they had manicured into a forked beard. Oh, this area here where y'all could see a beard after 36 whole hours is normally the fastest growing area. Yeah. Yeah. Problem is it only grows, there. I can't even actually grow a goatee. I have to grow these out really long so that it'll touch. My beard doesn't actually grow. Oh, yes, that's right. Frank Beard. Could not get one of those belly button beards. It wasn't going to happen. But he was the clean-shaven guy in ZZ Top. And his last name was Beard, so everybody in ZZ Top had a beard. Oh, not a problem, Sharon. It's fine. My cat will be okay, one way or the other. Jim the Anvil Neidhart had a goatee. Okay, well, I just remember somebody had a forked beard. But you got to remember, I haven't watched professional wrestling, which is basically soap operas for men, since I was 12, 13. Had something to do with 500-pound Andre the Giant stepping on somebody's chest, and they didn't immediately have their backbone squished through the ring. 500 pounds is pretty much enough to destroy your chest. If you step wrong at all. And I could watch the way he kind of like did a little hop with that one and just kind of stepped over and then landed on his other foot. And I was like, all right, this crap's fake. And I stopped watching it. But I remember there was a guy back then that had a forked beard. I mean, it came down quite a ways, but then it was forked. Back then, I thought it was cool. Then when mine only grows that way, I was like, this is ridiculous. Eddie, I can get this stuff all the way down onto my neck to actually grow. It just doesn't grow fast enough to actually show anything. I'm serious. This is 36 or more hours since I shaved. Because it was 5:30 in the morning yesterday when I shaved last. And it was 5 o'clock when I started. And so, yeah. 36 hours. How many of y'all would still be this clean shaven looking after 36 hours? All right, Sharon, I'm sorry. I'm fairly certain that question is not directed at you, ma'am. I'm not trying to make any enemies here, obviously. And I can get the stuff to grow on the cheeks a little bit, but it comes in, well, and not to piss off a certain guy by name of Steve and Miss Kathy who do live in Indian Territory, but I end up with a patchy beard. A little patch here, a little patch there, but not really a great beard. It's a patchy, very patchy. I'm thinking Steve and Miss Kathy will probably forgive me the somewhat of an off-colored terminology there, but mostly because they're probably laughing at the fact that it's true. Of course, I'll also remind everybody that not too many people show up at this show that are not laughing a little bit at something sooner or later, because this is like one of those 1970s comedians. I'm going to say some stuff, and I'm going to try and be funny. And if you laugh, great. And if you don't, well, I'm going to move on to the next joke. Most of them about me, so what's it matter? Look, even Steve's telling me right. He's laughing. Let me see if I can't adjust the light a little bit. Maybe that'll work better. And I apologize for anybody who is catching some glare off the glasses. Maybe if I adjust it just right, it'll be a little brighter. Oh, if I hold it just right, it'll be like that one. Oh, yeah. No, that's no good either. if I turn on the outside lights, you get this glare right here. And I get a glare right there. And that washes out all the words which are in white. Which then, of course, makes me miss y'all's comments, which is probably the best part about doing a live show is live feedback, live comments. It lets me know what y'all are thinking about, what y'all are wanting to talk about. James, are you going to miss the Asikian with Nish and Briar Blues, GAW? I hope you wouldn't, brother, but if you do, try to catch it on replay. And be safe, whatever you're doing. And you'll probably see me at Martin's, definitely. Technically dark, let me see here. Not quite yet. But because I am more or less easterly facing, my face is headed towards the east. So the sun is setting technically behind the house mostly. So it gets dark about, well, now. Oh, all right. So Miss Kathy, if it's not worse than Steve's, it runs a close second. I know I have a face for radio, and then Mike sent me a shaving kit and said, "Use this stuff, damn you!" And I said, "Yes, sir." And except for today, I've been very, very faithful about scraping my face off every day. A couple of nicks here and there, but you know what? It's going to happen. It's just the way my hair grows. It'll grow in a little patch, and as you're trying to shave and that one patch catches, then it'll grab hold of a little skin, and then there you are. Thank you, Welsh Piper. I appreciate that. Awesome. I'm glad I'm not the only one that agrees. Yeah. Voice for silent movies, yeah, probably. Not going to offend me on that. And an accent that's like fingernails on a chalkboard. I know this. You won't be the first person to have pointed that out, nor will you be the last. But I don't mind. I really don't. Oh, and now I'm switching to a Shiner candied pecan beer. Interesting. Pecan beers are not new. One of my favorite ones is from Russia. And I'll have to look at some notes that I took a long time ago. I don't remember which specific number it was, but like all of their beers are named the same except for a number. And right now I don't even remember the name on the beer. If I saw it in the store, I'd be like, ah, there it is. And I'd get it if I wanted it. a lot of people think, what? You're crazy. Your favorite pecan beer is from Russia? I don't know how they got the pecan flavor in that beer. Or beer, not beard, beer. But this is running a pretty close second. Goes well with a cigar, surprisingly so. Howdy, Cliff. Great to see you, sir. Cliff, I know you're hanging out through all of the next show. I've got this feeling you are definitely hanging out through all of the next show. Maybe because you've got at least 2 entries to possibly win a Castello. And a super nice looking pipe it is, too. Good Lord. Has everybody seen the Castello that's going to be given away tonight? If not, you have not been paying attention to Mike at Briar Blues. Because that pipe has been shown several times. And I'm telling you, it's beautiful. I couldn't tell you what shape that Castello is. Not off the top of my head. I do know that there's a green lacquer inset or inlay on the band. And wait, there were only 34 pipes sold? Oh no. Yeah, kids across the street are playing basketball. The guy who used to own that house, his name was Charlie. He started a company called Charlie's Plumbing. I helped him wire up the lights out there so that he could basically have block parties whenever he wanted to. While he was still alive, close to not close to, actual millionaire, multi-millionaire, never even graduated 10th grade. 10th grade, drug up from school, said, I'm done, went and became a plumber, turned it into a business, right there in that garage, right across the street. Lights I helped wire up for him, still going. He just wanted the lights up for whenever he was hanging out outside, having a good time. And then a couple of years later, he sold the house and moved to a much nicer neighborhood just right down the road. Really good guy. I liked him a lot. But yes, it is so nice to not be hearing squirrels and cicadas and leaf blowers and mowers and nail guns. Oh my. Howdy, Everett. Great to see you, sir. Boris, I like that you pointed all that out. And Steve, what you typed in there made me literally laugh out loud. Welsh Piper, yes, I still do crocheting and knitting from time to time. Mostly it's when I'm really trying to calm myself. You can't, or I can't, crochet or knit when I'm mad. And if I'm mad, I will go sit by myself and crochet or knit to try and take that out of me. Oh, Everett, nice. Boswell's Christmas cookie. I can't get anywhere near Boswell's right now. Hey, but we will hear from the mailman, maybe, sort of, kind of. He'll be dropping something off in the mailbox here in just a minute. Well, second or two, or, well, now. Oh, never mind. It's one of the other guys. Not that it's any problem there, just it's not my normal guy, who probably has plenty enough vacation that he decided to take off. As well, he's a grandfather and a great grandfather according to him, so therefore I don't begrudge that man that he wants to take off and be with his family during Christmas. That's why I'm hanging out here with y'all. I'm here with my family. I really enjoy hanging out with y'all. I think that's pretty well obvious. Oh, by the way, everybody, there's going to be a lack of shows this coming week. You might see a few extra lives from me, not really filling in, but knowing full well that there's plenty enough people that are out there doing, and they might be crazy enough to tune in while just chatting for a cigar or a pipe. And I'm not trying to say that there's a specific time period that I'm going to be live or whatever, but I'll hang out with you. And for people who are still going to do their lives this coming week, I probably am going to show up at a lot of your shows as well. Eddie, don't feel bad about shopping. If you see something that needs to be purchased, get on it. Might be going live on Instagram next week. Well, that's awesome. I've got an Instagram account. I hardly ever check Instagram. I never was any good at posting all these beautiful pictures. Okay, yeah, sure. I graded myself in comparison to, well, too many really good photographers, and I'm just not that good. There's a lot of stuff I'm not really good at. I can fully admit that. I'm pretty damn good at taking a test. As long as I have the materials to study, or if it's an open book, I'm going to pass it anyways. I sounds crazy, but really, it's Cliff. You're right. I can remember somebody going after a pipe with a white stem that it just happened to be available at just the right time, and just the right people happened to be on my live stream at just the right time. I believe that pipe went to some place in Arkansas, though. I am not going to say where, Jonesboro, but I think I remember something like that happening. And you know what? I don't mind such things. because it's not really my live stream. Sure, I'm sort of hosting it. It's our live stream. If y'all weren't here, this wouldn't be happening anyways. Oh, very cool. All right, so in case y'all are missing that, Steve and Kathy, who were not feeling up to snuff last week and let us all know here on my show that they wouldn't be going live probably on last Sunday. They're now saying that it looks like it's going to happen now. Eddie, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, look, it's got to happen. Oh, I got too many dings all of a sudden. Oh, okay. No problem. I was waiting to see if maybe some of the blood work came back and they were able to tell me if it was cancer or not on my cat. Nope, not the case. But like they said, they can only check through a biopsy, and that might kill my cat. So I said, no, we'll have to just go with the treatment. Luckily enough, the treatment for both of the possible conditions for my cat is the same exact medicine. Strangely enough. But I actually did some research and found out that they weren't lying. It's the same exact medicine. Sorry, Boris. I quite often try to turn off the notifications. But when I'm expecting notifications that I'm hoping to be able to see, I would really like to see, sometimes I leave them on. I apologize to everybody here, especially if you're wearing earbuds, because those were probably painful. Hey, but as long as things are going ding, and as long as we're talking about it, how about a bowl call? Hey, I tried to ding that pretty low. Hopefully that didn't kill you. What are you smoking, and what are you smoking it in? And let's do it as fast as John was having to read them last night. I'll give it about 20 minutes. No, I'm not going to wait for 20 minutes to start reading them off. Again, I am smoking a Punch Classico. Yeah, dings are not bad, just as long as you're not actually really truly asleep. Just finished Whiskey Sunset Cigar from Zeal. Have not had one. Eddie, you're gonna have to tell me how it was. Steve's not smoking anything right now, but probably will be here in about 35 minutes or so. I hear you, Steve. I understand. Again, Steve, I'm really happy that you enjoyed that Monte Cristo. It really was a damn good cigar, wasn't it? And yes, I do know that by smoking a cigar and talking about cigars, I do sometimes take away from the pipe smoking nature of this community. I do smoke my pipes. I smoke pipes a whole lot more than I smoke cigars. But cigars are so much easier on a live feed because I know how to regulate a cigar just right. Whereas I'm still learning on pipes. I'm not afraid to admit it either. Cliff Higgins was smoking his Asekian with Frog Morton across the pond from 2015. That had some good age. Pretty good. Cameroon wrapper, Nicaragua binder and filler. House blend. Okay. Very well could be. Not a problem at all. I do like some house blends, and there's some where a different manufacturer has made it, and a house blend has been literally bought up so that it's this size, shape. This is all coming to this one location. Now, Cliff, while most of us do like a good cigar, I don't want y'all to think that I'm all about cigars. I do like pipes too. I just don't know enough about pipes to tell y'all much of anything. Most of what I've learned through the YTPC. And the Pink Floyd song, Have a Cigar, is the world's largest collection of cliches about the music industry, as far as I know. We could ask Chad if he was here, he could verify that. But at the time, it was a song where they used literally every little cliche phrase that they had ever heard, including where one of the record executives asked, "And tell me, which one is pink?" It just fit into the song so well, so they used it. Wait, no. The Mafia didn't take Chad out. They took Dave out. And Piggly Wiggly. I know I got that name wrong, but Curmudgeon's pet pig is no longer with us. I think it was B.R. Soze. He was small enough to sneak in and get to the pig. Pork Earth, that's right, Pork Earth. And in case anybody's not aware of what we're talking about, the Nashville Mafia movie, it came out, which is kind of why I'm a little worried for Mike. The end scene there was filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia. And it was a little bit of a snuff film feel to it, wasn't it? Of course, Mike did say, hey, those guys have connections. They're untouchable. He wasn't lying to it. Of course, a 20-pound burlap sack of Largo. Cliff, I don't think the term freaking hilarious does it quite as much justice as it deserves. Just as long as they don't threaten Stumbo. I've got this feeling Stumbo ain't going to play around with that bullshit. Yeah, but Eddie, how do you jar up a 20-pound bag of Largo? I mean, 5-gallon buckets? You'd go broke affording a gallon jar. Enough to get enough gallon jars to truly make it where it would be all jarred up. Well, Eddie, there is that. Yeah, 20 gallons of haunted bookshop. I mean, just go down to the can factory and tell them, yeah, I need a 55-gallon drum. That ought to do it. Oh, by the way, if anybody knows, how is Squadron Leader? I've always wanted to try it and never able to pull the trigger when it was available, or it wasn't available, or it was out of my price range, or whatever. I mean, I'm going to smoke it. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to smoke it. And the other one that Willie gave away, which ERREN something or other, the name slipped my mind. Of course, I didn't think I was going to win anything, so I really wasn't paying attention. And then when they called my name, I was like, what the hell? And by the way, everybody kind of needs to owe a big old round of applause to Ben Greenman, who his work behind the scenes was awesome. Great guy. The Army doesn't use my planes anymore, Paul. Just as a thought. Oh, it's an English blend. Awesome! I was just going to basically sit here and go like, I don't know what it is, but it's coming to me, so I'll smoke it when it gets here. Now I know it's an English blend. I'm going to be like, okay, I have to open this at exactly the right time, which is any time that it shows up. I do like an English blend. Right now, in my pipes, I've been smoking Sutliff Old Professor. A month ago, I was smoking Emerald Isle, also by Sutliff. I get them in the pound. Little did I know, I ordered 3 pounds of English blends. And because I switch it up. I normally get like a aromatic and then something that's somewhat of a Balkan, and I almost always get an English. And this last time I got 3 Englishes. But I really do like Englishes. If I had to look at you and tell you that I like one better than the other, well, the English blend for Old Professor I do like better than the Emerald Isle. which Emerald Isle struck me kind of as a in between an English and a Balkan. Good, but I can't tell the difference between one Balkan and the other, and I don't know why. I've tried. I've had Balkan Sassini and Balkan Sobrani, and I've had some superb Balkans, and I had some Sutliff run-of-the-mill Balkan. I could not tell the difference between the Sutliff and the Sassini and the Sobrani and half a dozen of the other ones that I've tried. I know I like them, but they all taste exactly the same to me. And if anybody else has found a similar issue with similar blends, go ahead, let me know. Or maybe I've just got something wrong with me. No, there's no maybe there. I've definitely got something wrong with me. Just ask my wife, she'll tell you. Of course, while you're asking her, ask her if I'm in somebody's way all the time. I am. She'll tell you that too. I'm always in somebody's way. What am I supposed to tell you? Other than my wife is always right. She has told me so, and therefore...
Ridiculous.
I'm pissing her off. When next you hear the gong, the time will be time for me to look for my head over on the sidewalk as she hits me in the head with a cast iron skillet. Huh. Well, that is interesting. I didn't know that, Boris. But do they still taste like Balkans?
Do you have a basket or something
To put that stuff in?
that's in the dryer that I can put in?
Not right here.
Because I've got, that load of laundry's been sitting in the washer since yesterday. I gotta get it dried.
Just dump it on the left seat and I'll hold it. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Paul, that is true with cigars. That if you've been eating certain foods, you will get a different flavor from times where you've been eating other foods. It's like your taste buds have been trained to pick up those certain flavors by the foods that you eat. And that's why a lot of tobacconists will ask you what your favorite meals are. Because that will give them a clue on what tobaccos, blended, unblended, cigars, or whatever, that are going to be closer to your exact right blend. But yes, Paul, the food definitely will influence what flavors you're tasting. Well, Eddie, if that's true for me, then my taste buds have been wrecked ever since very early April. Some of y'all might have seen it. You know, I sat right here and ate some really, really spicy peanuts. Well, Eddie, I also eat a lot of spicy stuff, and I am definitely into Perique as well. Mustang. Oh, Paul, that's definitely true. There are certain liquors and well, just plain iced tea or sodas of various different sorts that if you're drinking one, it will pair really well with certain cigars and will not pair very well with other cigars. And so anything that you're consuming short of water will tend to influence the flavors that you're going to get one way or the other. Water being pretty much neutral, okay, depending upon where the water's from. If you're talking tap water, it might influence some, but for the most part, the bottled waters are going to be fairly neutral to the flavors that you're going to get. That's one of those things, if you really want to be some kind of tobacco savant, you got to try not only the tobaccos, but you got to try the drinks and the foods and the other things that will have influences one way or the other, so that you can be able to say, okay, but it also pairs well with it all kind of makes sense when you really get down to the zeros and ones. You binary it out. Do you taste this? Yes or no? Do you taste that? Yes or no? It's basically a binary question. Me, I always rate things on a binary of, will I buy it again? Yes or no? There's been blends that I've really liked, but I won't buy it again. It was good, but I think I'll be looking for something else. Creamy butterscotch was like that. It was good, but I was expecting one thing and it just really wasn't. So the end result is I'm probably not going to buy it again. I liked it. It was pretty good. But it didn't taste anything like butterscotch. Not really to me. Well, Paul, that's something good to know. When I get to the Black Twist, I will definitely make sure to find a nice bold red wine. Of course, I'm also going to have to learn about wine. What I know about wine could fill up a very small thimble. Of the wines I do like, Shiraz and Beaujolais. That's about it. I've tried a lot. Not really a big fan of wine. But if I happen to be somewhere and they're like, oh, hey, you got to try a wine. Okay. Do you have a Shiraz or do you have a Beaujolais? If not, then I'm not really going to try a wine. Thanks. Well, Paul, it's not that you have to be an expert, but if you find something that actually does seem to pair well, there's no problem in saying that to you, something like this pairs well with something like this. You know, there's an apple and an orange, and they pair well together. Cool, well, I'll give that a shot. Oh, Boris is going to have a white Christmas. How come I'm not surprised about that, Boris? That Boris is going to have a white Christmas in Finland. I would be shocked if you had a green Christmas. That would be shocking. Of course, I would also be shocked if Boris said something was cold. I know he laughed at me. I was sitting out here freezing my butt off that one time. It's okay, Boris. I enjoyed every minute of it. Even though I know you were laughing at me. I was probably laughing at myself also. Between my teeth chattering and shivering my butt off. But it doesn't get down to 15 and 16 degrees in Houston ever. Just that one time. I did have a white Christmas in Houston once. I seem to recall that was 2004. I've got a picture of it somewhere where I was standing in front of a bright purple Dodge Durango with snow on it. And the timestamp on the picture says that it's like 15 minutes till Christmas. That's the last time I remember a white Christmas in Houston. Really? Didn't have any snow yesterday. That is weird for y'all. Okay, so a black Christmas is basically where it is not white, but there's no green left on the ground. Grass has gone into hibernation. I got it. But wouldn't a green Christmas be shocking? What we need to do is get Boris one of those fake putting greens that he can roll out on top of the snow. That way he can have a green Christmas. Probably teach me how to putt while he's doing it. All right, Eddie, you take care. Oh, and Patrick has said Mike is live. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate that because obviously I didn't get the ding. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been so much fun having y'all here with me this evening. Thank you very much for showing up. Glad to have been able to gather all of us here. Please remember, we're going over to Briar Blues so that we can watch a certain giveaway with Nish. And I appreciate definitely all the time y'all have spent with me this year. Thank you very much. I will be live this coming week. Don't worry about me any. And remember, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. Do the best you can with that. And as always, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.
Richard Berger wants to come out.
Do you want to let him out or not?
I'm okay if he comes out. We just gotta make sure he gets in.
All right. Well, then what we need to do is...
Maybe hit those lights so we can see.
Can't hit those lights because they only burn for about 30 minutes and then they go right back out. far as he's been away from the house in a freaking week.
He came up and bit me earlier.
Oh, so he's back.
He's getting better.